Hello everyone, I'm Parvati. I'm from Team Enlight. Today we are presenting the series of approach videos which have been specially prepared by Enlight for easing your prelims preparation. Prelims, not just prelims as well as mains preparation. I'm dealing with the subject economics. Fortunately or unfortunately, the subject of economics is usually quite boring and quite technical as far as the UPSC aspirants are concerned. And again, added to this is a problem that there is no ready reference for economics for the prelims as well as the mains. So in Light today, we are cutting down the subject of economics, that is, which has been given by the syllabus given by the UPSC in the prelims and the mains to simple modules. We have simplified the syllabus for your ease, and we have presented a particular Enlight way of learning economics, which will definitely help you in your different stages of UPSC exam. The prelims syllabus that has been given by the UPSC, it is not a very comprehensive syllabus. They have just mentioned topics like sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, etc. But you know that when we actually sit in the examination hall for the prelims examination, going into that hall just by going through the syllabus that UPSC has given, it can be very tricky because they ask both within and also on the periphery of the syllabus mentioned. So, analyzing the questions for the past 10 years, that is from 2009 to 18, it can be clearly seen that nearly 150 questions have come for economics, 150, 153. Here I have to mention that within the domain of economics, sectors as well as current affairs have also been included. Also along with that, banking has also been included. So from 2009 to 18, it can be seen that nearly 150 plus questions have come from economics as such. So that shows how important the subject of economics is for the prelims. And again, 2009 to 18, if we again split the prelims syllabus on the basis of with minute topics within it, you can see that majority of the questions have come from international organizations, banking, schemes, policies, etc. So Enlight has divided the domains, different domains within economics into two categories, that is conceptual and factual. In the conceptual domain, we have included topics like national income accounting, budget and public finance, inflation, external sector and banking, whereby a lot of concepts are involved. That is, for example, you can say the various rates of the RBI's monetary policy, repo, reverse repo, etc. Inflation, what different kinds of inflation, how inflation affects the economy, fiscal deficit, what are the implications of increasing fiscal deficit. All these are application level questions, but their base is on the concepts. So such topics have been included in the conceptual part, and there is also another part that is a factual part whereby all the schemes, policies, the sectors, that is agriculture, industries, services, infrastructure, and then again international organizations, the questions from international organizations have been included. For example, you can get report, for example, a report published by World Economic Forum or United Nations. One or two questions might come from there, and also different other miscellaneous depending on each year's current affairs. So the entire UPSC, the vague UPSC syllabus have been split into two sections, that is a conceptual part and the factual part for your ease in preparing for the prelims. And on the basis of that, if we see, you can see that again I told you earlier, majority of the questions have come from current affairs, international organizations, but remember that banking, schemes and policies, all these questions, somewhere there is an element of concept in this. So the conceptual part which we have already mentioned assumes very high prominence in your prelims examination, without which you will not be able to crack the questions put forth by the UPSC. Okay. And then in the beginning itself I told you that it is very difficult to suggest one particular source for preparing economics for your prelims examination. The closest available source, or you can say the book that is available in the markets for your prelims preparation is Shankar Ganesh, Economic Basic Concepts of Economy by Shankar Ganesh. That is a decent book, but then again, there are many chapters in the book which you need not study. So keeping in mind the framework which Enlight has provided, go through the book with juxtaposing that framework with the chapters of the book. That will help you a lot in your preparations. Along with that, read selected chapters of the NCERT textbook, that is Introduction to Macroeconomics, whereby a better understanding about the budget, inflation and all will be got by the students. So only the selected chapters, please do not read the entire book. That is again another important thing for you to remember. The current affairs, it has to be there because the current affairs in economy will trace its roots to the different concepts which we have already mentioned, and also that for that newspapers, editorials and all will help you. Along with that, surfing the net, websites like Investopedia which simplify the concepts, fiscal deficit for example, inflation spiral, such concepts will be simplified in websites like Investopedia. That can also be beneficial for your preparation, prelims preparation. All right. So that is about the prelims. Now, moving on to the mains, understand that the approach that you adopted for preparing your prelims examination, it is quite different from the approach that you need to adopt for your mains. Because in the prelims, what is significant is the minute facts, the nitty-gritty of the concepts, the nitty-gritty of the facts, the current affairs, that need to be integrated in your prelims preparation, because tricky statements will be given out of which you have to arrive at the answer. So for elimination, not just concepts but also some amount of remembrance is also important for your prelims. But as far as the mains are concerned, what is more important is to have an original and genuine perspective about the various issues, the problems or the occurrences or happenings in the economy, in the Indian economy specifically. All right. So for that, what is important is to have a very clear, sound base at the prelims level, which will help you in forming the analysis or the perspective while preparing for your mains. And it can be seen from the syllabus again mentioned by the UPSC. We call it GS3 paper, whereby along with economics, we also have environment, science and technology, internal security and disaster management. But in the entire syllabus for GS3, you can see that nearly 50%, to be precise, 47% of questions come from the part of economic development. So then again, I told you, whether you like it or not, you cannot ignore economics. You have to have a decent knowledge, sound understanding of the concepts of economy, so that you will be able to write your own opinions about the various happenings in the Indian economy, and that is what is expected in your GS3 paper. All right. So 47%, as I told you, has come from economic development, the rest being the other subjects. And then again, UPSC, unlike the prelims, they have given a kind of comprehensive or elaborate syllabus as far as the mains is concerned. You can see that they start off with the various problems in the Indian economy related to growth, development, employment, etc. Inclusive growth, government budgeting, then cropping pattern, agriculture, e-technology, public distribution system, food processing, land reforms, then industrial policy, infrastructure and investment models. So from the syllabus, it is clear that there are certain general economic problems which are being included. Along with that, there are certain technical aspects also. For example, the investment models, government budgeting. These are certain technical economic concepts, or you can say economic aspects that have been included in the syllabus. All right. So in that case, we have again, Enlight has done a comprehensive analysis from 2013 to 18 for the economics part. From that we can see that majority of the questions that have been asked are based on the Indian economy, issues related to Indian economy and also effects of industrial policy, etc. So remember here, the concepts which we have already studied for the prelims, that will be mixed with the current affairs of that particular year and the questions will be brought in front of you for the mains. Okay. So in the past years, that is from 2013 to 18, all the areas have been touched, whatever the UPSC syllabus they have mentioned. Questions have been asked from all the areas, but the majority being the ones that I've already mentioned. So what is expected in the mains paper is that you have to integrate the certain key terms which are already familiar because of your prelims preparation. That terms need to be integrated with the facts, so you can say the current occurrences in the economy in the year of your examination. That is what is expected. And here again, remember that agriculture, food processing, cropping patterns, they occupy a very significant, important part of the mains syllabus. Nearly 4 to 5 questions every year come from the sectors, especially the agriculture, followed by industry. Take a note of that. That is very significant. So, as far as mains are concerned, references again we do not have. Unfortunately, we do not have ready references for the mains also. But remember, for economics, GS3 paper, economic survey and budget of that particular year, you have to follow it. You have to be really thorough with it, because the policies, the performance of Indian economy for the past year, it is clearly elaborated in the economic survey. The terms which are expected in your papers are clearly defined and clearly integrated in the economic survey. So it helps you in integrating the concepts or the policies and the analysis into your GS3 paper, that is in your mains paper. So students who are writing the mains examination should have to go through the economic survey. Every year, Enlight publishes a comprehensive analysis of the economic survey, which can be very useful to you. So kindly refer to the previous year economic survey analysis for your benefit. So economic survey and budget. One question from budget is definite in your paper. Some policy related questions or analysis of some sectors, how the present year's budget have taken care of social sector, for example. Something of that sort can be asked. And so you have to go through that. Then newspaper editorials. I told you, like Business Line and Hindu, Life Mint are certain standard papers which publish beautiful editorials like quite often. So when you come across an editorial which can be incorporated in your paper, the points or the ideas, the policies in that editorial which can be incorporated in your paper, take a note of the editorial. If you're reading hard copy paper, cut it out and keep it, or else you can also read it in the laptop and make notes. So that is very important. Hindu, Business Line, Life Mint, etc. And also, Economic and Political Weekly can be helpful to you. Not all the research articles are required. It publishes research articles, but what you have to focus is on the introduction and the conclusion. Leave aside all the data and statistics and research methodology and modeling and all that. You don't need to go into all that details. You have to focus on what the study is about. In case of certain national level studies are conducted by them and articles are published, in that case, just focus on I can say that just keep a copy of your syllabus and then read Economic Political Weekly and newspapers, because every time your reference is basically your syllabus. So whatever your syllabus demands, if that can be received from editorials or EPW, then read it, or else you don't need to. Alright. Then there is also a site which can be, a website which can be quite useful for your preparation, that is Ideas for India. You can refer to that. That also publishes research articles, but it also brings forth ideas and short articles from renowned economists and policy makers. That can be really helpful. Again, keep a copy of the syllabus with you and then go back, refer the syllabus, then come back to the article which you are reading. If you find that the article is relevant, you can say the content of the articles can be utilized while writing an answer, then read it, otherwise just leave it. Okay. And then there are certain selected policies and reports. For example, Niti Aayog publishes a whole lot of reports which are actually really good, some of them which are really good. So certain such, then ILO publishes certain reports, United Nations, UNICEF. You can't, and it is impossible for a person, an aspirant, to actually read all the reports, but some of them, if you can get hold of a gist or a summary, then it would be really helpful for your preparation. So that is regarding the references. So this is Enlight's way of approaching economics. We have explained how you have to go about reading and understanding economics at the prelims stage as well as in the mains stage. For more videos, again, subscribe to our channel. And in case of any other inquiries, feel free, inquiries or feedbacks, not just inquiries, feedbacks too, please contact us in either in the website or you have phone numbers available. Thank you so much.